Hey guys, Rexor here, and welcome. Thank God my mic was on, I had a moment there. Welcome to Update Monday on the 28th of June. That's the month we're in. Oh, it's almost the 10th of June already. This is going to be really hot because I just took it out of the microwave. Yeah, it's really hot. Oh God. Hi. It's still morning, obviously. I'm actually doing this Update Monday a bit earlier than I usually would, because today's my late day, so I'm not technically at work yet. So yeah, I thought I'd get it out and the way rather than doing this during work, which is what I usually do, because usually in the morning there's a massive lull after I've done my initial wave of emails and reviews and stuff. But I know that today's going to be really busy, and because I start late, it would be a later Update Monday. I just get out of the way. So yeah. So what happened last week? Well, movie night was Top Gun yesterday. That was a lot of fun. It's a movie that I've never seen. I know my dad really likes it because he tried to be a Navy pilot in the French Navy before, when he was younger, and didn't make it due to his love of castles. The story is that they were doing an exercise over like a French countryside. And there was in training exercises, and I think in normal operations as well, and it does show in Opcon as well. This is the thing, there's like a not a ceiling but like a floor that you can't go below, because that's technically meant to be the ground. And my dad was doing some maneuvers, and when he was diving from said maneuver, there was a big castle, like a proper like fortress in these mountain regions of France, which there are quite a few of, and he looked down and it was like a top view. And in the I think late 80s, I guess, there weren't that many like air pictures of those kinds of monuments, which there are now, and you can probably go and see them on like a Google and stuff. Obviously in the 80s the internet hadn't yet been properly invented, definitely not the way it was like in the late and like mid to late 90s. So it was the first time he'd ever seen a castle from that kind of view, and he was just mesmerised by it. And so he dived through the floor, basically, which, you know, caused a lot of issues. And then there was a few other things as well, but that was like his big like error. So he didn't become a pilot in the Navy, and that's why. And instead he now works looking after castles, which is probably good. So yeah, he loves that movie, and I can see why. It was a good movie. There's no doubt about it. I can see why it did so well when it came out and why it had such a pop culture. There were a few like very strange things that happened. Me and Cucumber had not quite like during the movie we had a sort of back and forth with how strange some of the scenes were filmed, and some of the things that people said were a little bit like, that's a really random thing to say at that moment exactly. But it was good. It actually elicited some emotion from me, which I wasn't prepared. But no spoilers, even though the movie's like over 25, 30 years old now. Way over 30 years old. Ugh, it's like 35 years old, fucking hell. Anyway, so yeah, that was a good movie. I very much enjoyed it. Looking forward to what we see next week, basically. What else happened? So I completed Ratchet & Clank. I think I've already said that many times. So I started playing Assassin's Creed 2. I'm playing through that. It's a very massive game, and I'm still mind blown by how big the game is. I also, there's a Steam Summer Sale in case you hadn't noticed, anyone, and I've bought several games, but it's not something that I've done for a few years now. Usually I don't actually buy games in the sales, because I've kind of got enough games and I kind of know what I want to play, so most of the games that come out that I want to buy, I can buy now because I've got a proper job. I don't need to wait to the sales. So I don't really have that kind of issue anymore. But there were quite a few games on the back burner that released a while ago that are now on sale that I've wanted for a while. So I got those, and I might play them at some point in my life. But I tried to play one of them yesterday, and it's a racing game, or it's a driving game, let's say. And I very much grew up on driving games on my consoles, so like PS1, PS2. Nintendo 64. Holy crap! I had an F1 game on 64. That was a weird game. Not because it was oh god, F1's so weird, but just because compared to what F1 games are like now, quite a few things have changed. But my PS5 controller, and this is something that's really upset me, doesn't work on my PC. It does recognize it, but it only like half works. Like it's because most games are kind of what's the word? They're built for. I guess the controller that they're built for is the Xbox controllers. So the PlayStation controller just confuses them. I didn't really have any problems with my PS4 controller when I was using that, but I've given that away to my brother, obviously. So now I've got my PS5 and it just wouldn't work. So it's like, fuck, now I've got to get an Xbox 360 controller. Luckily, they're quite cheap now. So I got myself one, and it's coming today, and then I'll be able to actually play games that I bought. So that's something. Yeah, so that's that. Nothing better than hot chocolate in the morning. What else has happened? Not a lot. Like we did D&D on Thursday, which was nice. It's been a while since we went back to that. It was a good fight as well. We had a really good encounter. We got really, like, the rolls are all over the place. My character, I'm really frustrated with my character. Mostly probably because I play like base D&D. So and we're playing a Lord of the Rings sort of version of it. So it's Lord of the Rings universe based on the D&D 5 edition. And the barbarian, which is what I'm playing, in that isn't quite as like, I don't know how to really explain it. It's just not as I guess they just, rather than being a barbarian, which is usually barbarians are just really heavy hitters that do a ton of damage in like very short bursts, and can sustain a lot of damage. In this, it feels like they have a lot more of the latter, so I'm sustaining a lot of damage and a lot of damage, but I'm really not dealing that much damage back to them. That might change as we level up. Obviously we get bonus features and stuff, but right now I feel like my level 3 like upgrade, which would, if I had gone a different path, would have given me some standing, and in regular D&D would give you a lot more bonus stuff. I just feel like it's just not really done anything except slightly increase my longevity, so it's made me even more of a tank, which is not really something that I wanted. So that's just my gripes with my character. Otherwise I'm enjoying the campaign immensely. Yeah, it's good fun. Yeah, I mean, there's not really much else happening, if I'm really honest, other than video games and stuff. It's kind of dark. We had a massive, like, sunny period 2 weeks ago. It's been ishy sunny last week, and this week is probably going to be shit. But that's just the UK for you. And the UK is just shit. Yeah, I'm really considering just like leaving the country, if I'm really honest. I've just had enough of this fucking country and everything that happens in it. So frustrating. It's like a never-ending cycle of just bullshit constantly. So yeah, figure that out at some point. I just thought I'd voice that randomly because it's just, yeah, it's causing massive frustrations. Yeah. That's about it. There's water tank stuff, but no one really cares, so woohoo. And I think that's it. Like, I've just been plodding along, like work's been work, and there we go. I've been doing a lot more work last week and the week before than I have like previously, mostly just because the cases are finally being like properly allocated. But that's work and no one really cares, and also there's also a limit to what I'm allowed to actually talk about. Who the fuck is this? Oh, it's no one that I know. It's someone randomly followed me on Instagram and confused me because I thought I recognised the picture. So yeah, that's that. Lord of the Rings, that's probably the thing to talk about. The reading, fuck me, was the last 2 chapters that I read just so good. I'm really excited to see ahead, which obviously is going to be happening tomorrow. That's going to be such a good chapters. Like, we've got the flight to the, I can't remember what it's called actually, but either way it's right off the Weathertop. So Frodo just got stabbed basically. So we've got the whole flight, and then we've got probably the first chapter in Rivendell before the Council of Elrond. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We had a lot of exposition on Weathertop, like a lot of lore exposition and dump, which I absolutely adored. And yeah, and there was also a part where I sang a whole song in Aragorn's voice, and it turned out it was Sam, so that was fun. But otherwise, yeah, it's so good. Now that we've got rid of Bomba Bib, we're all good to move on. Although he still props up just by name, just randomly. Yeah, but and also the hobbits have been joined by the most important character of the entire books, Bill the Pony. So that's good. Who's called Bill the Pony because his owner used to be called Bill. Who does that? But yeah, that's about it. I've talked for over 10 minutes, so that should be good. Got nothing else to say, really. I will see most of you tonight for Cucumber's Red Dead Redemption stream, and if it's not Red Dead Redemption, then I look like an idiot, so you better stream Red Dead Redemption too, mate. You don't want me to look like an idiot. I can do that much better on my own without help, thank you. Yeah, and then tomorrow we're going to be streaming some more reading, because reading is fun, and Lord of the Rings is very fun. And on that final sip, I bid you a farewell. Farewell.